Hey guys, it's John Sobey here again. How you doing? Maybe you could see me through the mirror. There you go. How are you? I'm a bit goofy. Anyhow, okay. So, I did a little quick video, but a message came in and I had to take it, and for some reason I couldn't pause it. So that's just fantastic. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm using a brush this time. Okay. The effects are going to look the same. Now, my brush is a bit over packed with ink, but I'm going to show you something here. If you control it, don't let it control you. See? You can get a nice thin line without any bleeds. Now, it's all about control. Like I said in my last video, which turned out to be really crappy, but whatever. What you want, you like, I get messages that, I'm gonna say this again only because maybe you guys didn't watch the full thing, is I get a lot of messages that are like, well, John, what ink do you use? What brush do you use? It doesn't matter. Okay, you find out what tool works for you. Okay, practice with it, and practice with it. And when you're done practicing, you'll find out what tool you like best. From there, what you do, okay, now real quick, because this is like a carabiner or a suit attachment, you want to make these lines real thin on the inside, because they are manufactured and made to be thin, unless there's a lighting issue. Okay, back to what I was saying. Now, when people ask me, what ink I use, I just tell them, because I can't go into a 20-minute conversation with 5 different people about what tools I use and how I use them. What I suggest is you get a brush, a nib, a tool that works for you, or any tool, actually, to begin with. I'm sorry. And from there, you practice with it, and you figure out which tool is best for you and which tool you like the best. Now, you may not like the way a nib feels. You may not like the way a brush feels. So, let's say you just like the way a tech pen feels, for example. Well, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to learn your control of that tool. Because if you don't, go opposite on this way. Because if you don't, you're going to be all over the place with your inking. Okay? I know traditional inking is going out of style and all this stuff, and they say it's gonna die. I don't believe that. And Danny Meeke and people like that are testament to that fact. I mean, look at Matt Banning's work. Matt Banning is one of the best inkers out there. He's inking Wonder Woman by Finch right now. And his inks are just deadly. And all he uses is a nib. That's it. Okay, so we're into the bat symbol here. Okay? You always want to make the symbols right. You want to make them nice and crisp and clean. Can't help the traffic in the background. I'd put on music, but I might get sued. Anyway. Okay. So, nice, controlled lines. Okay. And I'll do the other half in a bit. But I want to go back to some, well, screw it. I'll finish it. So, you're going to have sometimes maybe the off little accident. So, what you want to do when that happens is leave it, let it play out, and see if it's one of those happy accidents that Bob Ross used to like to say. Because sometimes happy little accidents can turn out to be some of the best stuff. But if it's not a happy accident, then fix it. Now, I'm just watching my control here. I'm making the outer portion of his bat symbol a bit thicker, because you want it to stand out. Gotta wash my brush. And remember, like I said, the more practice, the better you are, and the more control you have over your tool or tools, the better you are. I'm showing this video with the brush on purpose because I want you to know that what you can do if you know your tools well enough, okay? And don't get disheartened by people leaving rude comments or things like that. I've been left comments that said, "Oh no, John, you should do it this way." And then I try it that way, and the person then responds, "Oh, John, no, I meant to do it this way." And it's like, well, make up your damn mind, man. I'm the one inking here, not you. And then you never hear from them again, right? And it's like, well, you got me in a tizzy over nothing. What was that for? Usually, these people just either want to get under your skin, or they're trying to help, but they're just going about it the wrong way. Okay? I think this is a better form of help than any comments will ever do. I haven't monetized my YouTube channel, okay? If you look, it's not monetized. And the reason I haven't monetized it yet is because I really want you guys to understand that I am doing this a lot for you. Yes, I will monetize it, probably in the next week or so. But there's no point right now. And not only that, this is a tutorial. This isn't anything else. I'm not 100% happy with this page. I could have done better, but I was so worried about the camera that I should have been I missed a few things that usually I don't miss. But now the camera's set, and you guys can see what I'm doing. Keeping my eye on the monitor as well. Now that wasn't there, but I added it. Got a little tear here. So what I'm gonna do, take advantage of this. And I'm even going to bring it out here. Turner didn't have it that way, but it doesn't hurt to add if it's not going to hurt the page or the impact of what is going on in the page, if you know what I mean. Okay, he's got a little bit of a rip here. But it looks like he's got some little hatch pulls in here. So, bang. We go like that. Bring this down. Yeah. Rip there. Okay. So now you can see, because I can control my brush well, I can get my lines nice and thin and then go super thick. I can do that with the nib too, like you saw in the last video. And I'll switch it up in a minute and show you guys exactly the same thing but just with the nib. Okay, I know my Canadian accent might be odd to some of you all, but or some y'all, I should say. But don't take it personally. Well, I don't know how you could. Yeah. Sometimes I go off on these little rants. Like, I like to sometimes think about the movies and things like that. And, you know, when I'm inking out, I'll just start spitting off lines from the movie. It's quite weird. You made a serious mistake. Not as serious as yours, I'm afraid, Mr. Wayne. You fight like a younger man, with nothing held back. Admirable, but mistaken. Wanted to make that thick down there. See? Into thick. Trying to... Yeah, you guys can still see here. Okay, good. Now, I'm sideways with my brush, but that's okay, because I can control it. I am the League of Shadows. I have come to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. You think the darkness is your ally? No, it goes, theatricality and deception are powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? Members of the League of Shadows. And you betrayed us. I am the League of Shadows, and I have come to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. Ah, yes, I was wondering when you would break. No, that's not it. It goes, oh, yes, I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit or your body? Okay, so here we have a carabiner type latch. You want to add some shadow there. Thin it out there. Because the light source is coming here, there's going to be a bit of shadow inside that. Bring it down and around. Over top. Thin to thick. Because it's going to shade out at the end. So, yeah. Okay. Here he's got like a little circle here. Looks like an O-ring. So here, see, he's got it going thick to thin to thick for the depth. So you just want to make sure you make it like that. Then there, thin to thick inside here. Sorry if you didn't see that. I was focused in on doing it. I don't have like an overhead arm for my camera, so I have it attached to my lamp. It's a crazy little setup, but it'll work for now. I never said I was a cameraman. I only said I could ink. You are home. My home. Where I learn the truth about despair. As will you. Okay, I like to add little things in here. Like, wears and scratches and things like that, because like I said, nothing is impervious in this world. Well, most things aren't. And yeah. So it's been an okay week for me. Got my heart handed to me on a platter. That was really nice. But, you know, we soldier on. We do what we do. And we make the best of it, right? It's all anybody can ask. That's the thing when it comes to personal stuff and work. I've found a good separation between the two. for myself, but it's not always going to be that way. So learn how to compartmentalize, so when things like that happen, you can keep working and not let it disturb you. Okay, again, there's too much ink on this brush. My pad is not working. So, what we do in these instances, or I do in these instances, is I go in and I will fill blacks. Okay? Here, Turner wants this all black. And it should be, because it's rising out of the water. And with the explosion, the light source is coming from all different angles, but it's coming from this angle as well. So just make sure that you keep to the lines. You don't trace. You just keep to what the artist wants. Okay? You gotta sometimes do mind reading. And, you know, I mean, it's not difficult. I mean, the artist gives you the information. Like, everything's laid out here. All the information's laid out. It's just up to you to translate it properly. Okay? So here, as you can see, he's got a bunch of tatters, bunch of explosions. So, add this stuff in. Make it a bit thick there because that is a solid structure. Okay. Just throw some lines in here, pull lines, because it's not only what he wanted, but and also in explosions you get a lot of these black spots like this. They should probably be circles, but nothing's perfect in this world. I'm sorry. Especially explosions. Okay. Now, here it's like a cloud, right? Right here. For the explosion. So what you want to do, you don't want your weights too screwed up. You want them kind of uniform for this. Black that in. But when it comes to this part, you can either just black it in, but you can also just like that. Okay, if you want to add like a difference and make it look a bit different than usual, well, go like that. Don't make it a solid black. And even you can go hatch it the other way. Remember, this is an explosion. So inside there's debris and there's little sparks of fire coming through. These are all integral things when it comes to inking stuff like this. So know your textures, know, no cloud formations, and okay, if the sun is hitting from a certain angle, well, what's the cloud going to look like? Where's it going to be darkest, right? These are all things that are kind of being lost in this form of art. And that's why I think personally inking is a very important facet when it comes to comic books. Now, yes, it's cheaper to go digital for publishers, and usually the person can add colors really quickly too. And it's great. I've used a Cintiq. They're fantastic, right? But for me, I'm an old-fashioned guy. And yeah. So that's the way I see it. Kind of wanted to finish up this panel anyway. Give you guys an idea of what this all entails. Okay, he's got another set here in the back here, as you can see. And it's a poof of its own of the explosion. And that happens with explosions. They will flame out and then flame on or burst on in a different area. Sometimes it'll be a foot away, sometimes it'll be 10 feet away. If it's a big enough explosion, it'll be 30, 40, 50. Anyway. You want to leave room for the colorist, okay? Because that's really, really important. You want to let the colorist play a bit, right? You don't want to ink up a page and then the colorist comes in and goes, well, what the heck? What am I supposed to do with this, right? You have to leave room for the colorist to do their job. Because if you don't, you're not doing this correctly. See how my brush kind of double stroked on me there? Well, I'm going to take advantage of it. Look at that. Boom. Happy little accidents, just like Bob Ross says. Where else can I use this effect? Let me see. I could use it in the water. Why not? Let's test it out and see what happens. Okay, guys? Alright, here we go. Okay. Alright. It didn't double out on me, but that's okay. Still looks good, I think. There's a couple spots I'm not totally happy with around here. So if you're not happy with something, test around it. Do-do-do-do. Like that, you know? Yeah, looks a bit better already. Okay. Remember when a big rush comes, a big object comes through water, you're going to have this big rush of water like it's drawn here. But you're going to have, you know, air pockets coming out and through and up. And what it's going to do is end up basically leaving you with a pretty big task of making sure it all looks correct. So no, like, download pictures of whales coming out of water. That's a good one. Shouldn't even have said that. Should have kept it to myself. No, I'm just kidding. You know, stuff like that. You want to download, if you want to download pictures, download natural pictures, rock formations, things like this, right? Because those are the things that are going to help you. Yes, Danny Meeky's inks and looking at them are going to help you as well to see how he does his work. But honestly, in all honesty, the best thing that's going to help you is natural, real, live pictures. Because unless you've been around an explosion or fire or something coming out of the water, like in a big whale, unless you've actually seen it, you're not going to really have an idea. And even when you see it, sometimes you won't remember all of it because there's just so much detail in. And when it comes to that, you know, it's not bad to have a piece of backup picture. Now here I'm going to go freehand with my lines. Just because I want to add, like, some of them. Oh, sounds like I got my visitor on my perch again. I have a little balcony outside, and often this one crow just keeps coming by. He's a big boy too. Oh my goodness, he's huge. But he'll come by and just look and walk around, and then, so you can hear him now. And then one time he jumped down and actually came close to the wood door and my screen, and I was thinking of letting him in, but then I thought, that's gonna be a headache. And once I went to the door, he kind of flew away. And a couple finches come in. Maybe I think they even had a snipe, which was kind of cool and kind of creepy in a way too. Not gonna tell you why, it just was. So yeah, there we have most of this panel done. Okay, you've seen me start with a nib and move to a brush and finish off with a brush. Remember, it's all about control. Okay. So, do a few more strokes here. I'll make another video right after I'm done with this one, and then upload it at a different time. I'm just gonna cheat. I'm sorry, but you know, at least I'm honest about it. And then you guys, you know, can think, oh shit, excuse my language, I'm sorry. Oh damn, you know, this guy's gonna, you know, he did that all at once. Yeah, I did it all at once, but I'm not gonna show you all at once because then you're all going to think, well, why doesn't he do this more often with every page? boy. I can't wait for Star Wars. I think we can all agree it's probably going to be one of the highest grossing films of all time. I heard it sold something like $2.7 million already just in like IMAX tickets and pre-sales. So that's quite interesting. Movie's gonna be paid for within the first weekend. Guarantee you that. So just keep in mind your weights and stuff like that. Like I said, I can't mention that enough because it's just so important. You want to keep your line weights varied at the right places, not just for the sake of varying them, okay? I see people vary their line weights for the sake of varying them, and it's like, what the heck? I mean, honestly, that makes no sense. And then everybody loves it, and it's like, oh my god, do you not have any technical knowledge? But, hey, whatever gets you through the night, right? Whatever gets you through the night, it's alright. Okay, we still have this tear to finish off here. So what we'll do is we'll thick here, go nice and thin. Maybe make a couple tatters there. Bring it down, up, down. Just following Turner's lines. But also, see what I did there? I brought it down even further. I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything. I'm just wanted to show what you can do. What you can do if you think outside the box. Okay, if I had instructions from the publisher. Now, I'm sampling this page. This page was inked years ago. But this is just for you guys. And I wanted, if you had direct information or orders from the publisher, follow his lines correctly, do not play with them, do not add anything, then of course you don't. But luckily enough, I'm doing this as a sample page, so I get to play around. And like shipwrecked men turning to seawater from uncontrollable thirst. Sorry, it's another Batman reference. So, I'm holding my brush rather loose right now. Okay. I'm going to go a bit thicker there. Bring it around. Thin it, thicken it out. Yeah. Okay. Some people will go, John, what'd you do that for? It looks wrong. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. Now some of the water effects. I thickened this here a bit when you guys weren't looking. No, I mean when I was just looking at the page and decided to, because it just should be. And here we have a water drop but I'm gonna bring it out a bit more underneath. Not doing anything special, just adding my own technique, my own craziness. Okay, he's got it fairly thin in there. He's got a rip here. I love the way Turner drew this page because it's more real, more honest. So another tear here. Bring it thick underneath so it shows that that's what I like to do, at least. So it shows that shadow that would be under a rip on a suit like that. We're running into the probably 20-minute mark now, so I'm gonna shut this baby down soon. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you enjoyed the camera work better. That was horrid. I'm really sorry for the last one, guys. I looked before I leaped, but I tried, and at least I showed it and didn't color code it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be as transparent as possible with my, not only my attitude, but my, my work and my personality and stuff as possible nowadays. Well, not just nowadays. I've been working on this for a long time because, subterfuge and lies, just not worth the effort. Yep, because I've lived that kind of life and I want no part of it. Anyway, I'm going into a diatribe, so that's a good sign to stop. Okay, so just basically what I've done here so far, I added the tank. I added some inks. I did tape it. It's just that I stopped it, and then there was no pause button type thing. Okay. Working off of symbol programs here. Let's see what else. Oh, now the mask. I made those lines nice and sharp. I've got one more on the inside I've got to do. Here, I'm gonna have to add a sheen to this U-ring. The circle ring, the O-ring, I added. You see how it goes thin to thick? Okay, that's for depth and perception. And and of course the work I did up here. And a lot of it was just to show you an example of what you can do if you know what you're doing with control. I thickened this line out because it had to be thickened. Yeah. So, this is John Selby. Let me see. Right here. I'm not going to move my camera because... Oh, there.